Oh, why'd you wake up, honey? Go back to sleep. Yeah, you're so tired. You can go back to sleep now. What, you're just gonna keep your head up? Okay. Love you, Nova.
Hello my darlings, and welcome to a new mood reading vlog. So as usual, I'm going to pick the first book based on a tarot prompt. So I'm using the Awaken Exile tarot deck. So let's get a card. So the card I pulled is the Strength card, and the prompt for this one is pick a book that either has an animal on the cover, is about animals, or has an animal in the title. So let's see. I actually don't think I have anything that fits this. I may be incorrect. Let's have a look. Okay, I lied. We have The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. Now I am first in line, but they haven't got it in yet. So that's just based on whether the library can get it. There is Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen, which I just bought, and that has a little dog on the cover. Turns out there's actually quite a few options. We'll see if there's one more. When the Wolf Comes Home. I'm going to pick a few because, yeah, these are newer releases besides Blood on Her Tongue, which I've purchased. And the newer releases, I'm just not sure when they're going to come in. It's also... Let's just grab two more. I can obviously definitely read Blood on Her Tongue. We've got The Witch of Willow Sound by Vanessa F. Penny. And let's look for one more. Going Bovine by Liva Bray. So it turns out there's a lot of books with animals on the covers. Who would have thought? So I will pick one of those for my reading vlog. Otherwise, no idea what else I'm going to read. I will, see what comes into the library and take it from there.
Sylvie and Golden Hour. Hey, Sylvie.
Hello, my gorgeous peeps. I have already selected all the books I'm going to read for this reading vlog, so let me tell you what I'm going with. First and foremost, we have This Inevitable Ruin by Matt Ninja, and let me tell you what this one's about, because I'm already 100 pages into it. This is an 880-page beastie. This is probably the thickest boy that I will have read this year thus far, I'm pretty sure. But in this, our crawlers are playing the galaxy's deadliest game of capture the flag. Everything has just gotten a whole lot messier because now the deaths are real. We've got angry NPCs demanding equal screen time and one AI having the kind of meltdown you usually only see in reality show contestants. Carl, Donut, and Katya are stuck in the middle of a 9-way alien war, plus one rogue army of previously disposable extras. Alliances will break, friendships will be tested, and only one of Carl's fave crew members gets to leave the level alive. It's Survivor, but with more plasma guns and way fewer confessionals. As usual, I'm loving it. 100 pages in and I am sat. Matt, and I am also scared to death of what's going to happen. Oh, because like I said, I love everybody I know. I'm like, well, who's going to die this time? How many are going to go down? How many fictional characters am I going to cry real tears over? Because it's going to happen. There is no way that not a single crawler I like doesn't get killed. I'm also worried about Mordecai, their manager. I want to hope that he's really on their side 100%, but I don't know. It's a kind of character where I feel like he's got his own motivations and I don't know if he will stay loyal. I don't know how many of the other crawlers too will stay loyal, especially since in the last round, Carl did mutilate a few of them. Wasn't his fault, but it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. So we've just got so many, what's the word? There's so many elements at play. So many, that's not the word I'm looking for, but my goddamn brain fog won't allow me to find the word that I am looking for. But there's just so many factors that need to align for everything to go right. And is that going to happen? Probs not. So, yes, but I'm obsessed. I'm already obsessed. And I am trying to slow myself down because the next book has not been released, not even the ebook. I think it's showing a release date of June next year, a year. a year's time. I get it. I'm sure it takes a long time to write these books. They're so layered, and because they're so rule intensive, because they've got that game element, it must take forever to like piece it all together, Pepe Sylvia. So yeah, I'm trying to draw it out. You know, I probably shouldn't have started the vlog with this one because it's going to slow down the rest of the vlog, but I couldn't go on to the other books. This is the one I'm most dying for. So like I said too, I'm a bit worried that Donut isn't on the cover, and yeah, anyway, I can't say much about it because it's part of a series, but yeah, this is one of my top tier series of all times. Number one is the Lord of the Rings trilogies, but this is probably going to be second. The book that I've ended up picking for the animal one, I could go with Big Pussy Energy. I still have that. Haven't even looked at it yet. Might give it a look-see, but otherwise it's When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. I've heard nothing but great things about this from a lot of people. I did try Mary and I DNF'd that one. That was not my vibe. So we'll see how this one goes. I've also got, it's meant to be delivered today. It's getting close to sunset and hasn't been delivered. I've got The Library at Hellebore by Cassandra Core coming. I got a pre-order of this thanks to Tom. This one's supposed to come with sprayed edges, and I was really hoping I could get it so I can show it to you on camera, but it hasn't arrived yet. But I'm definitely going to read that one because I'm very much looking forward to it. And I've also gotten in at the library on audio Stinkbug by Sinead Stubbins. So that will be listened to as well. So like I said, I've already got 4 books unless I DNF one. And I might also throw Big Pussy Energy in there if I decide to. But yeah, I've got such a wonderful TBR. I wish I could have finished my August TBR off. There's only 2 left on there, Savage Blooms and Tongues. They haven't come into the library. And I have no clue when they're going to rock up. It's all that on order, and they've been on order for months and months. So they will be read whenever they come in. So whenever they come in, they're given priority. Anything on my TBR list that doesn't get read because it didn't come in gets priority in the next month. But yes, unfortunately, I was hoping to get all of the books ticked off, but those 2 didn't make it. I got myself another one of these. So this is a Skull Panda. I really want the cat. I always forget what it's called. It's always called something weird. The Encounter. That's right. I'm hoping I don't get a dupe. I think at this point I'm probably going to get a dupe. Just probability dictates that I probably will. Sorry, I'm going to be disappointed if it's... Oh, no, I didn't get a dupe. Oh, I'm pretty sure this is the day of. No. Okay, this is Recall the Past. So this is her, and let's see what her extras are. So that's her little card there. Oh my gosh, she's got little animals. How have I not gotten a dupe? I just don't know how that's happened. Oh my god, they're little frogs. They're little wind-up frogs. Can you see? Oh, she's so cute. I'll let you know what I call her. I'm thinking something earthy. But, oh, that's so cool. I'm so happy I didn't get a dupe. Oh my god, how many are left that I haven't had? The cat, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a like secret one. So there's 8 I haven't gotten. All right, I'm going to keep going until, you know, until I get the doubles. But I'm going to my cousin's 18th, which you would have seen in the Get Real Weird With It vlog. But I'll see you guys once I've read something. It's a laundry cat party. But check this out.
Hi, honey. Did you tuck yourself in again? I love you.
Good morning, guys. Oh my god, what a day I had yesterday. So the party was lovely, but on the way there, I was driving the car with my daughters on the freeway. There was congestion, and the traffic ended up slowing to a standstill. Unfortunately, the man behind me did not slow to a standstill and smashed into the back of my car. Now, the girls and I are okay. We're not injured. Anyway, we pulled off to the emergency lane on the left just before the off-ramp to the freeway. And I got out of my car and I, took a video of the damage, and I took a video of his car. He had a truck with a bull bar, so he had no damage to his. The back of mine is just... So I went up to his window and said, hi, can we swap licenses so we can get each other's names and addresses? He said, I'm not fucking showing you my license. I'm like, oh, here we go. And I'm like, well, can I get your name and your address, please, for the insurance? And he's like, I'm not giving you anything. Get in your car, follow me. We're going to exit the freeway and find a side street and we can talk there. Now, I will mention, like, yes, we're on an emergency lane on a freeway, but the freeway, no car was going more than 30 k's an hour. Okay, they were stopping or they were going 30 k's. It wasn't dangerous. There was plenty of room. Also, I'm not going to follow a man with my children in the car to some side street. He could have a weapon in the car. He could do anything. You know what I mean? There's no witnesses. Whereas at least on the freeway, there were plenty of cars there and I felt safe. I said, I'm not going to do that. He's like, get in your car, you silly little girl, and do what I say. And I'm like, you know what? I've got your license plate. That's enough for me to contact the police and, you know, I'll just take care of it. And then I went to like get in my car and he got out of his car and he's like, stop, give me your name and your address. And I probably shouldn't have, but like you are supposedly obligated to do that in the case, sorry, blues on the table, of an accident. And he took, you know, videos of my car. So I gave him my details and I was pretty shaken up. Like, what? It's like, dude, you smashed into me. Obviously, he wasn't watching the road and he couldn't stop in time and he smashed into me. But of course, he has to verbally berate me and try to get me to go to another location. I was like, I'm not fucking doing that, man. So I went to the party because we were just 10 minutes away and I needed my uncle's help. I had duct tape in my car, but I had no scissors to cut it. And we needed to like tape my bumper onto my car to make sure it didn't fall off on the road behind me and we could drive home at least. So then I called my insurance company when I came home. I have third party fire and theft. So if I hit somebody else, it'll pay for the damages. If my car catches on fire or is stolen, I'm insured. However, I'm not insured for other people hitting me. And I thought if you have all their details and everything, then they would be obligated to pay. But no, supposedly in Australia, unless he voluntarily makes a claim with his insurance company, even though I have all of his details because I rang the police, gave them the number plates, showed them a photo of the man in the car, and they told me, okay, this is his name and this is his address. But my insurance company told me that, yeah, unless he files a claim with his insurance company, I will have to pay for the repairs myself. And I'm like, he hit me and I have all his details. They're like, yeah, we can't legally force them to make an insurance claim. And I'm like, what the? I didn't know this. I'm just like, wow. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to, you know, get him to make an insurance claim? They're like, well, we recommend you call him and talk to him and ask him to make a claim. I'm like, you want me to call this man who was verbally abusing me? No, thank you. So I'm now left with the thing of, do I contact him and ask him, pretty please, sir, when he's got no damage to his car, can you make a claim and, you know, admit that you hit my car so my car can get repaired? Like, he's not going to do that. It's going to increase his premiums. Like, or I just have to bite the bullet and pay for it myself. I don't even, like, the whole bumper, both of my rear lights smashed and the boots also warped. My dad's not here. My dad has gone overseas for 2 months. He's a panel beater, so I don't have him. I can't drive that car the way it is. It is too dangerous. Like, at any moment, the bumper can fall off. And I have smashed rear lights, so I could not drive that at night because people won't be able to see me. So I'm like, great, this is exactly what I needed right now. And I'm just very upset. It was very, like I said, a stressful situation. I've never had someone smash into the back of my car before and then immediately just scream at me, like, far out, man. And it was just very scary. And like, it was a big, tall dude. And I'm like, yeah, I had my kids in the car and I was just like, I just want to get out of here. You know, I just want to get out of here and be safe. But now I have to deal with this. And like, he has my address, which sucks. I don't like, I was just thinking in my head, like, how shit that is. Like, if any guy like crashes into your car, he gets to know your name and where you live. Like, if you're not a good person, you see a woman that you like, you can just smash into her and then you know exactly where she is. Like, and I looked up the law and yeah, you have to give your name and your address. But they said also call the police. So the accident is officially logged and they are aware of the situation. So in the future, I'll do that as well. But I didn't want to do that then because, like I said, the freeway was back to back. By the time the police would have come, it would have taken such a long time. And like I said, I just wanted to get me and my kids away and safe. But in the future, I will just call the police whenever I'm in an accident, and I hope it never happens again. But yeah, I'm very worse for wear today. That was very stressful. And like I said, I have to deal with it and I'm going to be without a car and I don't have the insurance that gives me a courtesy car. My mom's like, why don't you pay for more? And I'm like, Mom, do you understand? I have to pay house insurance. I have to pay car insurance. I have to pay council rates. I have to pay health insurance. And it's like, for me, the likelihood of, yeah, someone smashing into my car, very small. So I'd rather not pay all that extra money every single year, because after 3 years, I've got enough to pay for damages myself if it happens. So I'm like, yeah, Mum, I'm already paying through the nose for health, which is the most important for me, and my house, which is the most important for me. So I'm like, I've just bought, purchased almost the minimum car insurance series, because I'm like, it all adds up. And insurances, we all know a lot of them don't pay out. They don't like to pay out. So I just didn't think. I thought in the case where someone else hits you and it's all their fault and you have all of their details and you have the proof, that they're forced to pay. But no, it's up to him. What a shit, man, seriously. Next time, I smash into someone, I'll just drive away, because unless I file a claim, I'm not made to pay. Horrible. Anyway, the book finally came. It's beautiful. It's got this matte cover, and it's also got embossing. So the title and the fly on the figure raised, and like I said, beautiful end pages and lovely skull there. And I love that the first line is, when I woke up, my roommate Joanna was dead. It's a great way to start a book. So I'm excited for this. So I'm going to be reading this physically, and then I'll be reading Carl, and then I'll go on to the other books. So yeah, it's just another headache, unfortunately. But like I said, at the end of the day, as long as me and my kids are not injured and we're okay, everything else can be handled. It's all good. I'll find a way, figure it out. I'm going to the movies today with my bestie. She's going to have to come and pick me up and take me there, because I can't get to her. I hate having to rely on other people too. But anyway, so we're going to see a movie. I don't know what we're seeing. She wants to see either Superman or the Fantastic Four. I don't even know which one I prefer out of the two of those. I'm not really interested in either of them, to be honest. But yeah, it's the kind of movies she likes, and she gets free movie tickets because she's in the movie business. So I was like, yeah, it's a free ticket at the end of the day. Whatever she wants to see, we'll see. So I'll grab lunch. She's got the movie tickets and the snacks, and it'll be nice to see her. I haven't seen her in ages. So yeah, that's how my night went. Oh my god. Anyway, I'll see you guys once I've finished reading something, or with an update on Carl, since it's such a mammoth book. Okay, I have to sit here so I block the sun. I'm so cold. Okay, the movie. Superman. So, look, I kind of wish like they hadn't axed Henry Cavill, but the new guy is hot, and he looks a lot like Henry Cavill / Clark Kent / Superman. So yeah, he is super hot. I was not a fan of Lois, especially them erasing her red hair. There was just no chemistry between those two actors. And Lois came across as a little bit of a cold bitch. I don't know. I didn't like their relationship. Then the rest of the movie, look, the Justice Gang was probably one of the best parts of the movie, and the black dude from Twilight, his character was really cool. So they were fun, and they brought a lot of humor and levity to the movie. It was fine. Like, it's just a typical popcorn action superhero movie. I didn't like the casting choice for Clark's human parents either. I don't know. I just really didn't like them. I get they were trying to be just everyday people, but I don't know. I'm like, you could have chosen other actors. I didn't like them. And sometimes some of the graphics seemed a bit B grade, but I loved the bit at the end with another character that I can't say, but there's a dog in this. Didn't like the dog. I know. Obviously, I didn't want anything bad to happen to the dog, but I actually didn't like the dog. But there's someone that's connected to the dog that makes an appearance right at the end of the movie, and that was fun. And I'm like, what? Oh, okay. Look, I like a bit more like reckless characters that don't give a F. I don't like super righteous good guy character. I like grey. I like morally grey characters. I like characters that aren't afraid to kill the bad guys. All right, like Lex Luthor should be killed. Don't leave him alive so that he can form another nefarious plan to take you down. Like, what are you doing? How many innocent people did that person kill? And by killing them, you'll save countless future other lives, and they can't come back to be a thorn in your side. So yeah, that's just a pet peeve of mine. I like superheroes that actually kill bad guys. But yeah, it was fun. And it was a good way to pass the time. But that's all I've done today. So we just caught up and ate and saw a movie, and it's late in the day now. And I've got to do some housework. I've got to do the dishes. I've got to do the laundry. I've got to do all that sort of stuff. And I'm going to just crash out. I'm exhausted. Yesterday was very emotionally taxing to me. To go from an accident straight to like a birthday party, it was a lot for my nervous system. And I haven't really reset and calmed down from that yet. So I went straight into that to getting the kids ready to go to their dad's today and then going out with my friends. And dealing with the insurance company all morning and the police, which also isn't fun to do. And update on that. My insurance agency rang the guy and he hung up on them. He's a swell dude. So they said protocol demands that we still have to send him 3 letters. And if he does not respond, then you can start your claim with us and I'll have to pay. And I don't know how much I'll have to pay yet because they have to assess my car and assess how much of the damage is going to add up to and how much I'm covered for and how much I'm going to have to pay in excess. So I don't think this guy's going to do the right thing and file with his insurance company because, like I said, his car doesn't need to be fixed. So we all know how nice he was to me. He doesn't care. The fact that he hung up on my insurance agency when they just called to ask him, have you lodged a claim with your insurance for hitting our client? And he hung up on them. Yeah, it just sucks. Like they said, I could take him to civil claims court to get the money from him for the repairs to my car. I would only consider that if the amount that I have to pay on top of what my insurance covers is beyond my capability to afford, because I do not want to have to see this man who knows where I live, who knows my name, who has my number. I don't want to go through a court case with him unless, like I said, I have to because I can't afford to fix my car. And let's hope that's not the case. Let's hope it's a cheaper fix. Like I said, I got to fix my entire bumper, both of my lights, and my boot. Yeah, pray for me that. It's fine, but so I'm not going to be getting my car fixed for at least 6 weeks because they said that they'd have to wait at least a week after sending the letter before sending another one. Sometimes they said they will wait 10 business days, so it's 2 weeks. And and then I can't do anything. I can't get my car fixed until they finish their process. So it's looking like 6 to 8 weeks, and then whatever time it takes to fix my car on top of that, during which time I'll be without a car. But I've had family members say that they have a car that I can borrow. But I don't know about you guys. I feel so anxious driving other people's cars. I am terrified of causing any damage to their cars whatsoever. And also you can't control if other people hit your car. So I don't really want to borrow anyone's car unless I really, really have to. I might have to ask my kid's dad if he can do pickups and the drop-offs to school. Anyway, I'm just going to cleanse and reset and calm myself down. I'm going to hopefully start this at least. It's so pretty. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I'm just going to get into my pajamas, wash my face, watch some YouTube, eat some food, and I'm doing nothing for the rest of the day and nothing tomorrow. Tomorrow is literally just going to be a stay in bed all day because I need to recuperate before my kids come back and it's back into the swing of things. Hello, my darlings. So one second, I feel like I had a hair on my face. I did finish reading The Library at Hellebore by Cassandra Core. So the premise of this book is that there is a murderously prestigious school where surviving finals means sacrificing your classmates. In the library, before the professors eat you for extra credit. Essentially, it's a conscripted, fucked up Hogwarts for those whom society deems as world eaters or Ragnarok starters, if you will. Anybody that's too dangerous to be left in the general population is forced into Hellebore Academy. They are what you'd probably call metahumans, so humans that have magical powers and have probably already killed people out in the real world. The main themes in this would be sacrifice and complicity, what you'll do, who you'll betray to see another sunrise. There's also a lot about predatory institutions and authority. The system that promises safety is designed to consume you, quite literally in this book. To me, this felt like a more bodily, fluid-soaked nightmare child of A Deadly Education and Ordinary Monsters. So smoosh those together, add a lot more oozing viscera and the like, and this is what you get. It is grim, dark academia, cosmic body horror. I thought it was good, however, I do think that Miss Call went a bit too hard with the purple prose in this, to the point that there were a lot of sentences that were just plain nonsensical. In the beginning, it starts off with her dead best friend, whom she has killed, and everyone doesn't believe that she would just have killed her school bestie, but she's adamant, I just did because I'm a cold-blooded killer. No one believes her, including the reader. We're like, there's a reason. You didn't just offer for shits and giggles. So that was a bit annoying because, yeah, everyone was like, you didn't do it. She's like, yes, I did. I did it because I felt like it and because I'm a monster and I'm heartless. So that got a bit old hat. I didn't love the time jumps in this. So you go back and forth in time, which, I don't know, it killed the pacing and it pulled me out and I'd get confused. I was very discombobulated every time that happened. I'm like, oh, wait, no, we're not in the library. We're out of the library again. Oh, no, now we're back in the library. So it was a bit confusing. I did find this overall a bit confusing trying to understand the magic system and the world building this. It's not really fleshed out, although there is a lot of flesh in this. But the way it was written, with the main character too, you just couldn't connect to any of the monsters. And I want to be able to root for them and their survival, even if it means taking other characters out. Like in my favorite book of hers, why can't I remember the name? Salt. Oh my God, it's one of my favorite books. This is what brain fog does. Yeah, I'll put a picture up. I love that the two main characters were monsters. They acted as a monster would that lacks humanity, and yet they were still likable in a way. I was still rooting for them, and the romance, however unconventional, was still awesome. This one has a little sprinkling touch of romance. There's a lot of consuming of each other, metaphorically and literally, in this book. Yeah, it just didn't feel, I don't know, I could never get my tenterhooks into it. It was as if I was viewing it from afar. So I didn't feel immersed in the story. I didn't feel grounded enough to really get a grip on what was happening and who the characters were and their motivations and the like. So it was interesting. Like I said, I think majority of people probably aren't going to vibe with this. Like the purple prose was like an indigo purple, like it was saturated. And yeah, the characters in this, there are some likable ones, but you just don't get attached to any of them. You're with them for too short a time. You don't really get to know them. They're all getting picked off, killed off before you've gotten a taste of who they are. Taste, like the faculty members. So yeah, it was interesting. Like I said, if you do like A Deadly Education, Ordinary Monsters, but you thought, you know what, this needs a higher body count and more gross depictions of everyone's insides, then this is the book for you. But yeah, overall I thought it was good, but the idea of it had me thinking, oh, this is going to be a new 5-star. The salt grows heavy. Okay, it came back. Now, since finishing that, I did start listening to Stinkbug by Sinead Stubbins. So this is about Edith. And Edith is headed off to an exclusive 3-day corporate retreat in the mountains, hoping to impress her bosses and avoid being laid off with the new restructuring. But once her and her colleagues are locked inside a creepy, renovated convent with no phones, bizarrely intense team building exercises, and a whiff of something sinister, the trip turns from networking opportunity to a psychological endurance test. As office politics curdle and paranoia sets in, Edith faces a choice: play along and protect her job, or embrace her stinkbug status and uncover the unsettling truth about consequy. Now, it started off very litficky. You find out that Edith had been in a 6-year relationship with one of her co-workers, and they broke up. We don't yet know why they broke up, but we know that she somehow had a hand to play in his recent firing. He was definitely very popular at her workplace, whereas she previously was not. However, once she was in a couple with him, it elevated her status, and she had a lot of fear about losing that and thought the best way to maintain her position at work was to get him out of there. And then they're told that their company has been bought out and they'll be having restructuring and new bosses, and they're sending them on a team building workshop to determine who is the best fit for the company. And there's this whole thing about they have to have a solidified work best friend by the end of the trip, because they really need to operate as a family and care about each other and the company. And like I said, as soon as they get there, they're forced to give up their phones. Never would I ever. As soon as that was made apparent, I'd be like, yeah, I'm out of here. Thank you. Not staying here. I'm leaving, even if it means losing my job. Because one of the characters has a infant and a husband, and was not aware that they would be unable to contact her, and she's freaking out. And I'm like, yeah, there's nothing that would get me to give up my phone if I had a baby back home and I wasn't entirely confident in my husband's ability to take care of our baby. So some other things, there's a lot of drama. So far, like I said, it feels quite litficky, quite based on interpersonal relationships, with this background hum of menace, of something's not right. Why are we really here? They've already had a scene where her and one of her bosses has gone to request that they get their phones back, and they perhaps call the retreat early because there's been some unexpected developments. She's just had a bomb dropped on her, but I can't tell you what it is. But I was like, oh yeah, she needs to get out of there and maintain space. But they were told by the people running the facility that they are outranked in terms of the hierarchy, and they haven't completed their tasks. They haven't graduated, if you will. They haven't passed this retreat's requirements, to call it. And then the boss just goes okay and leaves, and then tells Edith not to tell anybody about what was just said and kind of threatens her. So I don't know if this is going to, let me just check what the genre of this is, because as I said, it does feel litficky, but like the creepiness of the retreat could lend itself to horror, but I don't know if it's just going to be metaphorical horror or actual literal horror. So let's see what the genre is. Oh, it's thriller. Okay, yep. No, I expect probably people will die then. Okay, it's a litficky thriller. That's what I would say then. So at the moment, Edith is not a very likable character. You don't really like her. She's just a regular Joe who's just, I don't know, not one of the cool kids, and is quite petty and vengeful, but also meek and wormy. I don't know, like, we'll see how it goes. There's some other characters that are a little bit interesting, but so far I'm probably the most enamored with Edith's workmate bestie, Mo. She seems like the character I could get behind the most. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I didn't realize this was a thriller. I don't normally go for thrillers. It was good guys, look, it was the cover that just caught my attention. I was like, what is this? And it's written by an author who lives in Melbourne. So I do try on my channel. I've never explicitly stated it, but I do try to bring attention to Australian literature as much as possible. So I will buckle myself up. At the moment, it's okay. It's feeling like, 3.25, but there's potential there. It all depends upon the twists and turns. I guess that's the way thrillers are. What are the reveals? Are the reveals clutching your pearls level or not? Or just, Interesting. So I'll update you once I have listened to some more. Like I said, this is an audiobook. I think the audiobook is fine. It's not, hasn't blown me away, but it's absolutely fine. There are sometimes audiobooks I get and I just, if I don't like the narrator's voice or their style of narration, can't do it. I can't push through stuff like that. So it's I guess a good audiobook that I can listen to fine. And I've got to get back to This Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinniman. So that's going to be my nighttime read again, and I'll slowly chip away at that. And then once that's finished, When the Wolf Comes Home is next in the lineup. So I'll update you once I've finished or read some more. I have to go today to take my car to get assessed by the insurance company's assessor. Fingers crossed the bumper stays on. So I've got to drive, it's not that close unfortunately, drive about 25 minutes to there. So I thought I'd make a day of it if I'm going to be going out anyway and risking it. I'm going to go and try and knock off another hot chocolate. So this one is at Baker Blue and supposedly it's a tiramisu hot chocolate. I'm hoping they still have it. I'm not really sure if it's still on their menu. If not, that'll be disappointing. And then I'll just go out to lunch and have some food. There is a fancy secondhand store nearby and an Officeworks, and I do need to get a bigger USB stick because I like to make monthly slideshows of all of the things me and the kids have gotten up to every month, and at the end of the month we watch, all of the happy memories that we made. And last month's one obviously had a lot of videos and didn't fit onto the stick. So I'm not someone who updates tech that often. If it works and it's not broken, I don't fix it. That being said, I do think I'm going to end up upgrading a lot of my tech this year. Like, this is the upgrade tech year. I've got to get a new USB stick. I might end up getting a new Kobo. As you know, I dropped it repeatedly and smashed it, and it's been glitchy ever since. So sometimes it just freezes and it won't even turn off with the button. And that has driven me nuts, because sometimes it means I can't read for like 1 or 2 days until it somehow starts working again. So I don't love that. And I think I'm trying to save up some money and wait until the Black Friday sales, and hopefully can get the new Libra color, as well as a a cover for it to make sure if I ever drop it again, it won't smash. So I want to save up for that, and I think I might get a new phone this year. So I've got the iPhone 14, and so I thought I'd get myself a new one. That way next year I can give this phone to Indy. I like my kids to have their own phone if they're going to high school, so they can call me, or if they're at friends' houses, they can call me. I just like them to be able to track them as well, like to see, where is my kid? Okay, yep, they're exactly where they need to be. So that way I can give her this one, and I'll have a new one, and then I'll have better quality videos hopefully as well. So yeah, this might be the upgrade year. But that's everything. This week's going to be a bit busy. I was hoping to have a very chill week, but I'm so sore. I did a strength training workout the other day, and I only did 1 set, but my muscles are so sore. I might have to end up running errands this week, so we'll see how we go, but I'll see you guys later. Okay, unfortunately, Baker Blue is out. I spent 20 minutes driving around trying to find a car spot. Impossible. I cannot get there, so I'm going to lunch now. Okay, I am back, and Nova. There's a little Nova. As I said, I couldn't get to the Baker Blue. There was no parking anywhere near. Even the paid parking was all full. But the cafe was nice. The tiramisu latte was good. I went and got the car assessed. It's about 5K worth of damage. They said, obviously, if the guy doesn't give me his insurance details, I'll be out of pocket around $1,300 and my premiums will go up. So I told the assessor guy, I'm like, that's just ridiculous. And he said, call the police back and ask them to go and pay him a visit and get his insurance details. Otherwise, they said the only way to reclaim the money is going through small claims court, but your premiums will stay increased, which is just insane. So I went to the police station, but unfortunately there were like 5 people before me and no cops in sight, nova. So I'm going to try calling them on the phone, but this is just not fair. If I was a man, I'd probably go to this guy's house and speak to him, but like they should be forced to share their insurance details. Anyway, I'm just preparing myself to have to finance the repairs and pay more expensive premiums. It's just the way it is, unless the police can do something. So I'm going to call them soon and beg them to help me. We'll see what happens. I went to the library. So I've picked up The Accidentals by Guadalupe Nettle, translated by Rosalind Harvey. Bluebell. Every time. I've got Leonard and Hungry Paul by Ronan Hessian, and this is for a themed reading vlog. Bluebell. Oh, Colony. Oh, I already DNF'd this because I had the audio, so I still love the cover, but yeah, I'm not going to continue on with that one. I've got Once Was Willem by M.R. Carey, so I'm actually excited. I've heard good things about this one already on YouTube. I've got Mrs. Death by Selena Godden. And then I've got High Protein Vegan by Rose Wiles. So that is the haul for today. I'm halfway through Stinkbug. It's okay, nothing really thrilling has happened yet. We're just getting all the dirt on all of the employees at this company. So it's just drama, regular human drama. So I'm hoping it turns thrillerish at some point. I think this is once again one of those cases where I'm persevering because it's an audiobook and I don't have any other audiobooks at present. Bluebell. I'll leave you guys here. Bluebell's just being a little kiddo and I've got to give her attention.
Hi, Sylvie.
Good morning, guys. So I did quite a lot of reading yesterday. I was very emotionally overwrought and so I needed to soothe myself with some books. So I made it 80% of the way through Stinkbug by Sinead Stephens, and I just couldn't push myself to do the other 20% because I wasn't really enjoying it. It really was less a thriller and more workplace satire about hellish corporate culture. There was just so much gossiping and bitching, bro. It ended up just being like schoolyard squabbles. And I ain't no drama llama. I'm not interested in that whatsoever. I thought it was going to incorporate some, murderous, sinister, maybe even magical realism, horror element, but no, it's just about shitty workplaces and co-workers, and I don't care. Didn't care. So I did DNF it. I did then just listen to the last bit of the book, and I'm glad I didn't push through. It's just not my kind of story, unfortunately, I think. But if you love litfic-y workplace culture, relationship, co-worker drama, if you eat that up, all the water cooler stuff, then that would be for you. I apologize for my voice. I know it's not up to par today. I then picked up Big Pussy Energy by Vanessa Muradian. And this, no, Sylvie, you're gonna put holes in my new dress. This is just a very bite-sized, simple, daily activities to tap into that BPE, Big Pussy Energy. There's a lot of cuntastic activities like writing a letter to your coochie, drawing a portrait of your cunny like one of them French girls, giving your hoo-ha a sunbath, and the good old having a play with your vajayjay. There were very cartoony illustrations that went along with it, and each of the daily activities, it was very short, it was very simple. Look, I'm sure this might appeal to some people. It wasn't up my jam. It wasn't up my jam. It wasn't my thing. There was nothing new there, is what I'm trying to say. There was nothing I hadn't heard of before. That being said, have I done all of the activities? No, but some, but not all. I also have now read This Inevitable Ruin, which ruined my sleep because yes, I did stay up till 2 a.m. I am now 3/4 of the way through. I think I have around 200-ish pages to go. There was this one moment where Carl met these other players and they acknowledged his efforts, and even though he kept his sob in, I let mine out. This is a very emotional book for Carl. He has been able to release a bit of the emotional pressure that he has not allowed himself to release. You cannot be vulnerable in a place like this, but we saw some moments where he let it out a little bit, and I'm so glad that he was finally able to, that he didn't have to continue to suck it up and be strong for everybody else. He needs a shoulder to lean on sometimes as well. So that really moved me. Unfortunately, I'd say the bit that I'm not loving is the insane amount of war planning and strategy. They're at war. They've got a capture the castle style game, and they're trying to hold the castle, and they've got all of these other factions, I think 7 or 9, that are all attacking them from all areas. So it's intense, it's insane. There is so much strategic planning going on and battalion talk and military speak, because they're in a war, and I don't love that. I'm not a war person, military book person. None of that interests me. Obviously fantasy books have war and stuff, but it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit different. We're not talking in that language, so to speak. So there's a lot of that going on, and most of it is just going over my head. I think I'm not the only one in the boat here with the Carl books, that not all of us understand the minutiae of the plans and the setups and the game and the rules. It's very confusing. It is so confusing. Obviously, all the characters in these games too supposedly have insane levels of intelligence because they've been upskilling their intelligence. So it's not like they're human anymore, to be honest. They are all meta-humans, or some of them have changed species. But there are so many players in this that it is hectic. There are a lot of players because all of the humans are trying to band together to play on Carl and Donut's. It's not Posse Party, Princess Posse Party, I think it is. So you're just getting introduced to so many people, and obviously you've also got an NPC faction as well. So it's a lot of stuff. So much things are going on. It is just it's riveting. It was so hard to put the book down, babes. But I've got stuff to do today, so I'm like, Chanel, you'll be sick if you stay up any later than 2 a.m. So I had to put it down. I probably will stay up tonight to finish it. But at the same time, I am cognizant of the fact that the next book isn't due to be released until June next year. So I'm like, this is the last one for now, Chanel. Maybe take your time with it. You've got no other Carl book to go on to. This is nuts. There are very, very high stakes in this one. Obviously, the stakes are high every time. They're fighting for their literal lives, but there is a complication in this level that they are trying to find a way around, and I'm not sure if they're going to be successful at it, but man, it is balls to the wall action. But I'm loving it. So once I finish Carl, it'll be When the Wolf Came Home, because it's an ebook. But physical book wise, because I always like to have a physical on the go, I'm going to go on to Once Was Willem by M.R. Carey, which I'll tell you about once I have started it. That probably wasn't bright enough. Can you see me now? So I am going out with my mum today. We're going to Westfield. She's got some Westfield shopping vouchers that she got for her birthday, her 60th. So we're going shopping. And I'm going to pick up some of those blind boxes. Yes, I know, I have fallen prey to consumerism. But I'll buy a few, and that'll probably be it, because most likely in one of them there'll be a dupe, and then that will sour my experience. And if I don't get the cat, I'll just try and find it online and pay double, I guess. If I really want it, I'll sit on it. And I've got to get some stuff for my daughter from Mecca. She's got very, very curly hair. So she's got an extensive curly girl routine, and she's out of some of her components of it. So I've got to get it. I wish I had curly hair, but I've only got wavy. My hair's wavy, and sometimes it's wavier, and sometimes it's less wavy, and sometimes it's half. It is. And the curly girl routine doesn't work for me. I just end up with very limp, greasy locks. But both of my daughters got the curls from their papa, their grandfather, my dad. I'm going to sneeze. Am I? Oh, that was a big one, man. For a second there, I thought it wasn't going to come. Holy moly. Oh my God, say don't spray it, Chanel. I think that's it for today. Tomorrow I'm getting my hair done. But I'm going to get my hair done tomorrow, and then I'm going to go to the Further Out library because some books have come in there that I'm very excited about. And then I'm probably going to put on my September TBR. Oh my God. It is true what they say. When you're a child, the years drag by and it takes forever to grow up. But when you're an adult, like that, you're just watching the days of your lives go by, and before you know it, you're middle-aged. So yeah, but I'm happy to be here. I'm not bemoaning that I'm getting older. I'm very happy to get older. The more years I rack up, the better for me. I'm very happy to be on Earth. I think it's cool. I like being with my kids and my friends. I've got a lot going on for me on planet, so I'm not ready to eject from this meat suit. I like to stay here for as long as possible, ride it out. So I'll talk to you once I've finished another book or I've made headway into another book. Oh, what's that? Oh, I know what she's saying. She's like, now that you finished filming, can you let me sit on your lap? No, because you're going to scratch it. You always pull threads. Okay, I'm back with a blind box of sushi, yummy sushi. That's not it. Can you get it? It's on my table in the bedroom, my little makeup table. All right.
It's good taste and she got the chocolate. You get Duke. And then you really have more.
Alright.
You're probably gonna get Duke.
Let's have a look. Oh, it's the day of! Oh, that is awesome.
Why is this not cut?
Oh, she's so cute. I'll think of her name and then put it up here. Sugar plum. This is sugar plum. I already thought of it. Okay, yay. Oh, so cute. Yay. Can you hear my kid laughing in the background? Is that not the cutest little face? Hello. Are you all snug in there? Yeah. So cute, so Good morning, guys. So I finished This Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinniman. While I was reading it, I was thinking, oh, I'm not going to be able to give this 5 stars because it is just wall-to-wall non-stop war. And I am not one for battle strategy. And then fast forward to me finishing the book, and I'm like, well, this can't be anything less than a 5 stars. I am very emotionally invested, and just the way it wrapped up with one bomb drop after another, literal and metaphorical. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can't talk about any of it. Just, yep, there's a lot happening. There's so much happening, and gonna have to wait a year now to find out how this is all going to go down. So yeah, despite the fact it was just non-stop action and, you know, intense war, it's a 5-star book for me. I just am enamored with this series and I love it to bits and pieces. And I should have taped myself reading the last like 30 pages because the entire time I was like, it was like whapa over and over and over again. And I was like, yeah, I should have taped my reactions for this because I am reacting. I also will say RIP to Freddie. I did read the author's note at the end, and I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or the popular opinion, but I much prefer the original covers for this series. And I went and I've ordered online anyway, the Dungeon Crawler Carl first one, because it's not even in bookstores. I went to the bookstore the other day and they don't stock it. So I did order it online, but I was bummed to see that you can't get the original covers anymore because I just think they are really representative of the story and they're so much more fun than the more simpler, newer covers. So I'm bummed you can't get the old ones anymore because they're just fun. But thus concludes my Dungeon Crawler Carl adventure for now. I'll see you in a year for the next one. But yeah, I had such a blast. So another 5-star read, which is very exciting. What else have I been up to? Oh, I did start Once Was Willem by M.R. Carey. So this is set in 12th century England. And in it, Willem rises from the grave and he confronts monsters, dark magic, and the crimes of desperate men. In the tale, he supposedly reveals hidden truths about life, death, and the fate of the soul. I didn't get very far into this one. I just wasn't in the mood for Whence and Yonder. And unfortunately the author didn't really do the job of getting me hooked by the story enough for me to persist and persevere. So this one might be a soft DNF. It could just be I'm really just not in the mood for this particular thing. So I will be going on to When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. It's Cassidy. And I will pick a new book to read as well, because I still need another. So I went to the library, so doing a library haul. So I've got Nobody, Somebody, Anybody by Kelly McClory. And it says, this is about Amy Hanley, who is a chambermaid, but on August 25th, she will become an EMT and finally move on with her life. So it says it's about the shadowy corners of a young woman's inner world of grief, delusion, and self-loathing in the modern world. I do love the cover. This was, you'll probably recognize it on my covers I love. So it's got the old school art. We've also got To the Moon by Jang Ryujin, translated by Sean Lynn Hulbert. If I've pronounced that wrong, I'll correct myself. Oh, I love the colors on this one. Like I love blue and pink. So this one is Korean translated fiction, and it's set in Seoul with 3 young women who become friends while working mundane desk jobs at a confectionery manufacturer. So this one, I think I put this on my September TBR. Let me just check, because this is my last reading vlog for August, so I've done my September TBR. Oh no, it's not. All right, so I can read this now if I want to. And then we've got Funga Obscura. So this is by Alison Pulliot. I'm going to always look up the author's names if I'm actually going to give a review of the book. So this is just a photography book about fungi. Really, there really isn't much text. So this I'm going to whip through. You know what? I'll include this in this vlog because this will take me no time to go through. And then I'll pick one of these. I've also got Mrs. Death. So the next book after, you know what I might do? I might read a chapter of all 3 books and then decide which one my physical one will be. So those are the options. I've got one last Skull Panda. I've decided if I don't get the cat in this one, I'm just buying the cat, because this is starting to feel like gambling to me and I don't like it, not a fan. I've been lucky so far, I haven't gotten a single dupe, which is nice. So I've got a nice little collection for my bookshelf, but I just really want the cat. Maybe the Shiba Inu, because it's got a book, the girl's reading a book, and then that's it. Like I don't need all of them. And you can just buy them online. People sell them. And I'm fine with not unboxing it. Who did I get? Oh, I got a dupe, guys. Yep, see, this is what I mean. So I got the dupe. This is Peaches. I will be giving this to my daughter. I'm just going to buy the others. So that's my last unboxing for those, because I'm just going to get the one I want. It's a lot more cost effective that way. So that's everything for today. I will update you once I have read something. Hello, my darlings. I have some updates for you. Man, I don't know if anybody else has had a wild week. This is the Lionsgate Portal week, but this week has beat me down. I was in a car accident. I had a horrible week trading. My child got influenza, and I lost 2 friendships this week. One of them was just a 2-year friendship that wasn't that serious, but that person was just constantly cancelling plans on me on the day. And after the 4th time, 4th time in a row, when they're like, yeah, actually, no, I'm not going to make it today. I'm like, yeah, no. My time is precious, and this is ridiculous at this point. And then the other one was really hard for me. This person is someone that is in my inner circle. They're someone I consider family. They were someone who was extremely significant to me at one point, and I always thought we would be besties for life. And out of nowhere this year, the relationship was changing, and I just refused to acknowledge it. But it became very transactional in that they just started taking from me and giving nothing in return. And the final nail in the coffin was they took my money for something and then told me, oops, they lost it. Oh well. So no apology, no plans of paying me back. And then a week later, they were messaging me asking me to borrow some electronic equipment I have that's worth thousands of dollars. And I'm like, there's no way, no. I am not lending you anything anymore. So I'm not ending that relationship because of who that person is. I just can't do that. But I am pulling myself back. So I'm not investing as much of myself emotionally, energetically anymore. And I'm definitely putting in massively strong boundaries. I do have a tendency to be a bit of a bleeding heart, and the people, like I said, who are in my inner circle need things, I will give them, even if it costs me dearly. But this person I have given, you don't even want to know how much, and gotten nothing in return. They haven't repaid me in any way, and they were just using me. And it was very hard to come to grips with because, like I said, of our past, that I couldn't accept that that's what they were doing. But actions are actions, and I had to just come to terms with reality and realize that unfortunately this is no longer a relationship that is good for me, and I need to pull back and protect myself. But yeah, that one was very hard because I just don't understand why they've changed so much and why they were treating me that way when I didn't deserve to be treated that way. So yeah, human relationships are messy, man. But yeah, that one sucked. And I was just, it's just been a bit of a shit week. And I'm like, okay, I've been beaten down enough. Let me just stand up, please. Just, universe, let me stand up, man, and just leave me alone for a little bit. So today's the final day. It's the 8th of the 8th. And I'm hoping there's no more crazy shenanigans going on today. I am going out to do my final hot chocolate quest, which you'll see on my Reddit Rex video, because I want some goodness in my day today, and hot chocolate does that for me. And hopefully having two on the same day won't send me into a sugar coma, but I'm going to risk it for the hot chocolate biscuit. But I did start reading When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. So this is about an out-of-work actress who adopts a runaway kid whose nightmares come with a body count. And it turns out that babysitting is a lot harder when the daddy is monstrous. This really literally did open up with a whole lot of daddy issues of all kinds. I was immediately gripped. I've only read the first 2 chapters and I'm already jiving with it. I think this is one that I will probably see all the way through. So I've got a good feeling about this one. I've only ever heard good things so far from other booktubers, so I am cautiously optimistic this will be my bag, baby. I haven't, with the other books that I was going to read a chapter from and then decide which one to go with, I did start Mrs. Death. I'm not going to talk about plots unless I pick the book, but the first few chapters, because some of the things were just one page, it seems to be an interview with literal death, Mrs. Death, the Grim Reaper. So it seemed a bit quirky, and it's got a bit of a mixed media format going on, a bit of a experimental narrative style. So it's intriguing, but I'm not 100% sure that's what I'll go with. It depends on the other books that I read and if any of them are better. So I will hopefully give them all a go today. When I get home, when I go out on my quest, I'll be reading When the Wolf Comes Home. So I'll probably be able to update you about something today, but I'll catch you later on. Okay, I totally forgot to mention I did buy some books, because that's what humans do to cheer themselves up, they consume. So I got Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. I'm so bummed that I can't get the other covers. I do prefer them more, but I wanted to at least buy the first one because this series is just so fantastic and wonderful, and I wanted to financially support the author. And then I got this behemoth because my library doesn't have the first one, and this is the sequel. So this is The Jassard Crown by Sarah Hashem, and it's massive. This is like my year of reading really thick books. I am reading a lot of doorstoppers, but I actually really enjoyed the first one. I have a Fairy Loot edition of that my very brief stint with the subscription boxes, and it ended up being a legit enemies to lovers fantasy. I don't know if I'd call it romantasy, but I don't remember how much the romance didn't really start in that one. But I actually really enjoyed that, and the world building and the magic system and everything else. So I did want to read the sequel. And like I said, my library's not going to buy multiple books in a series straight away, and it will take forever. So I thought I would just buy it because I'm eager to continue on while I still kind of remember the first book. And this is just a duology. Thank you. I appreciate that. So it finishes with this one. So hopefully this slaps as much as Jassard Air did. And if it does, I might see if I can locate a special edition of this if they're doing one, so I've got a matching pair. But I will not be reading this in this vlog. I already read an 880 page book for this reading vlog, so this will be in the next reading, in the next what do I call this segment again? Recent reads? I don't even remember. My brain's cooked today, guys, but yeah, so this will be in the next one. Good morning, my darlings. I have a lot to update you on. So I did read, I'm not marking this as read on Goodreads because I didn't actually read it, Funga Obscura, because I found the writing, there actually was a decent amount of text in here. I found it very colloquial and I just wasn't into it. With the illustrations too, it's not just fungi, it's also nature shots and a lot of insects, including flies banging. So it was okay. Yeah, I wasn't really into this one, so I just flipped through it, but I did have a browse of it. Now with the books that I was trying, I did pick up To the Moon. I didn't get along with this. I was getting into it. It's about 3 women who are very sort of fed up with their jobs and they get into crypto to find financial independence. I love the cover. I think it's so cute, but the book itself, I could tell I just wasn't vibing with it. So the book I've decided to read next is Nobody, Somebody, Anybody by Kelly McClory. So in this we have the character Amy, and Amy is scrubbing toilets, flunking her EMT exams, and self-medicating with placebo vibes. Her plan is to trick herself into success. Her reality is that she accidentally befriends her landlord and spirals into deli counter level anxiety. So she works at a yacht club and I haven't gotten very far in. Okay, besides that, I did finish When the Wolf Comes Home. This is one of those books where I can't even tell you about the plot at all. And also, I was even thinking about the themes and I'm like, oh, it's giving too much away. Obviously, you've got the daddy themes going on, which is right out the gate. But there was other ones involving fear and protector versus victim, and yeah, a whole lot. And I'm like, oh no, it's giving too much away, because I went back and read the blurb, and the blurb is actually quite vague, and intentionally so. This is one of those books where hopefully no one does spoil what's going on in it, because it's a nice surprise when you come to it. I know this is so vague. Look, I thought it was great. It was very fast paced. I read this so fast. It was just very bingeable and fast paced. I will say though that Jessa was kind of frustrating. She makes just really dumb decisions, and you kind of want to give her grace because you have to understand that she's running on pure adrenaline and fear, and it is a hectic situation. But yeah, every decision she makes, I'm like, no, babe, babes, babe, no. Once again, no, wouldn't have done that. And it's a shit show. This whole book is a shit show. The body count is so high. It is so high. Don't get attached to anybody. And I literally mean anybody in this book. So yeah, it's not afraid to kill his darlings, that's for sure. Just, it was fun. It was, a new spin on the fairy tale genre as well. And it was interesting. Being very enigmatic, very obtuse. I just don't want to spoil anything. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. That's all I'm going to say about it. Yeah, I just don't want to accidentally mention anything. So I also, last night, I got an audiobook of Portal Mania by Debbie Urbanski, and this is like stepping through the linen closet and straight into your worst family therapy session. It's a collection of short stories with portals that lead to other worlds or just awkward conversations about open marriages, alienated children, and monsters. It's, I guess you'd say it's like sci-fi, horror, fantasy with oh no, this is incredibly uncomfortable. I listened to 2 stories. The stories are fairly long. The first one is called Promise of a Portal. And in this one, white women in pedo vans go around luring kids with galactic candy into going through portals. That one was definitely giving the Sean and Maguire series, which at the moment escapes me. Something is a doorway. I don't know. That was very reminiscent of that whole series and the themes there with the kids. And then the next story I read was How to Kiss a Hojaki. And in this one, a man's wife turns into a sort of alien species that no longer speaks and does not want to be touched. This one was filled with marital grape on page. And it was at this point that I was like, okay, this is definitely a lot darker and heavier than I thought it was going to be. I was thinking it was more about the sci-fi, and no, it's more about human nature and our shadow aspects. And after that story, I was like, no, I don't want to read about this kind of heavy shit. That was too much for me. I'm not in the mind space for reading about spousal grape. No. And it was, like I said, it's on page graphic description. So, maybe some people are like, oh, coerced consent. No. Nope. So yeah, I decided to DNF it. It was written well, but yeah, I'm not in that headspace, man. Okay. My mood reading vlogs, I tend to not go for the dark, heavy, even though that being said, like When the Wolf Comes Home, it is a horror and there were some heavy themes, but I don't know, different. It was more entertainment value with that, So yeah, this book I did end up DNFing. Cool cover though. I do like the cover of Portal Mania. So yeah, I'll be going on to reading this one. If I DNF this one, I'll be going on to this. If I DNF this, something else. There's just one book left. Yesterday, I also watched a lot of TV. So Wednesday season 2, the first 4 episodes came out. I'm not going to go in depth with my reviews because I actually review all the content I consume over on my other channel. I will say what I liked about this was that the character of Grandmama is played by Joanna Lumley. And I love this for two reasons. One, Grandmama is what my kids call my mum. That's her name, Grandmama. And 2, my mother and I used to watch Ab Fab together, Absolutely Fabulous. And our favourite character was Patsy Darling. And so it was just a delight to see her in that character, and I'm excited to see more of her character. I'll leave all my other opinions about it for my other channel. And then with my kids, I watched what's pretty much going viral and taking the world by storm, K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, look, I thought going into it, I'd like it because, look, I do like a lot of animated kids movies. This slapped. This was 5 out of 5. It nailed it. It's got funny, cute characters. Blue, don't vomit on the couch. Please don't vomit on the couch. Blue's a bit of a guzzler. She inhales her food and then she likes to yuck it up. Surprisingly, the songs were bops. I normally don't like songs in movies, but I have been listening to them on Spotify. My favorite is it called Idols? That's my favorite one, but they're all great. So this was a really good movie. I was surprised. There's a bit of a romance in there too. And I'm going to ship a demon and demon slayer romance. Enemies to lovers, guys. Enemies to lovers. There's also a demon cat with OCD. Love them. Love them. So yeah, this was good. This was a good movie. And I had a fun time watching it with my kids and then singing all the songs all night afterwards, which they were less jazzed about. But I dare you to watch that film and not even accidentally hum, because they're all earworms. They are earworms. But yeah, that was really fun. And I also started watching another show. Man, that's what I did yesterday. So I also started watching the latest season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's a fucked up show. The first episode threw me off. It was very unlike their style, and I got nervous. I thought, oh my God, what are they doing? Is this what they're doing? But no, it goes back to their old depravity and general cuntish behavior. And yeah, I just it's like I enjoy it, but I'm also severely disgusted by it. So yeah, it's interesting. Once again, it's one of those things where they're just doing one episode at a time. So I'm making my way through it, but I just saw the Raw Dog episode and I'm like, Dennis, that's low even for you guys. you've hit rock bottom, man. I thought you'd hit rock bottom before when you became meth addicts, but this was it. It was this one. So yeah, that's what I got up to yesterday. I just consumed so much media, so much TV, but it was a fun time and I just needed to rest. Like, you can still hear my voice is a little bit messed up still, so I'm just trying to get better. V's almost better, which is good. And yeah, yesterday ended up being a good day. So the crowning winner for the hot chocolate you'll see on my Reddit Recs, because I'm not sure if this is coming out before or after that, so I just don't want to spoil it just in case. But those are all my current updates, so I will touch base with you once I've read a decent amount of this and let you know how it's going. My beautiful Aunt Helen came today to give me this. She said, I saw this, Chanel, and I thought you would love it. And I'm like, yes, you were correct. It is a little bit different, but I'm like, yes, it's up my alley. Why is the drink so big? I don't know. They mega sized it. I could not finish it. No, it's as most as I could do. Hey, Blue. She likes to sit on top of things. Love when Sylvie goes flat-footed, don't we? This is chicken leg. Good morning, guys. I meant to just put a lip gloss on today because I didn't want to do any makeup, but this is so pigmented. It looks like a lipstick. I thought it was going to be just a sheer lip gloss, but it's a bit full on. Now, I realized this morning that I actually already have 4 books for this vlog, so I didn't need to read any more. But I have, so we're just going to have a bonus 5th book for this reading vlog. I do have a couple of DNFs though as well, so let's start with those. So Nobody, Somebody, Anybody by Kelly McClory. I did end up DNFing. It just, was feeling very mid. And then I picked up Tongues by Anders Nilsson, which I was very excited about because it was on my August TBR. There were only 2 books left, so I was stoked to be able to cross one more off. Obviously, Savage Blooms didn't come in, so I didn't get to complete my full August TBR. So let me tell you about Tongues. So Tongues is a sprawling, myth-infused novel that reimagines the Greek myth of Prometheus. In a war-torn, neo-apocalyptic Central Asia, you have a minor god chained to a mountainside for an ancient crime, who must endure daily visits from an eagle who both tortures and converses with him. Their exchanges mix philosophy, regret, and simmering vengeance toward the god who imprisoned him. Interwoven with this central thread are parallel stories. So you have Astrid, a teenage East African girl on a mission for revenge, and a silent wanderer carrying a teddy bear backpack through the wilderness. Together, I think that the arcs probably form some kind of intertwined narrative. I didn't get that far, as I only read 100 pages. The illustration style is very meticulous and geometrically framed, which I thought was interesting. So you have a very soft, muted color palette with a lot of earthy greens, warm browns, and dusty grays with the occasional pop of color for emphasis. And then you've got this hexagonal or circular layout, which breaks away from the standard rectangular grids, and it gives the storytelling this sort of flowing, almost honeycomb-like rhythm, which I thought was really interesting and different. The book itself felt very fever dreamy, and I just struggled to connect to any of the characters. I think the one I liked the most was the god, chained to the mountainside, forced to endure the eagle eating out his liver every single day. However, the illustration style wasn't for me, and that's something that's very hard to overcome with a graphic novel. I really do need to be on board with the illustration style. And I just, unfortunately, didn't have any interest in the story. It failed to pull me in. And as I said, I didn't care about any of the three main characters in the book, and my curiosity to see how they interconnected wasn't strong enough to continue to push through. I was just having a very meh time with it. So I did end up DNFing that as well. And then I got in the audiobook for Silver Elite by Danny Francis. So this is about Ren, and Ren's got two rules in her life: never get caught and never get horny for the enemy, it seems. Unfortunately, she probably is going to fail both of those. So in this book, she gets stuck with training with an obnoxiously good-looking officer, and she's also trying to save the world, and probably has powers, and probably also makes out with the obnoxiously good-looking guy that she really doesn't want to find obnoxiously good looking. I knew that I probably wasn't going to like this. This is one of those very hyped TikTok books. When I heard the author say, you know, I like dystopian, but I thought, you know what, we need a really spicy sexual dystopian for the adults. So that's why I wrote this. And this really is sex focused. You get the first chapter and you have Ren, who is trying to escape a one-night stand with a fellow army guy whose name she doesn't even remember, and she just really doesn't want him to get clingy, so she decides to hit it and quit it. And as she's trying to escape from the dude she just banged, she runs into somebody else's room. Well, that room is occupied by a really hot, dangerous guy who, rightly so, attempts to restrain her, and whom she attacks and also sexually objectifies. I really didn't like Ren. Immediate severe dislike, and just the over-sexualization of it. Oh my God, I thought, no. Based on a lot of the Goodreads reviews, this is romance trope first, plot, world building, substance far second. So maybe if I was in a super horny mood and I wanted to read about, look, I just really don't like super cocky chicks. Like she like that guy whose room she burst into had every right to restrain her. She had no right to then immediately, and she didn't just try to break out of his restraints. She was immediately going for the crotch kicks, the deadly kills. And I'm like, bitch, what? You're in his room. Back off. And then also, like I said, she was just imagining him naked and he'd probably be a really good fuck. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I will not be reading Silver Elite by Danny Francis. I could tell this would be an absolute hate read. And whilst I'm sure that would be an entertaining review, I actually don't do that on purpose. I just don't want another repeat of Shield of Sparrows. And this one seems even worse than that one. But then we got lucky. We got really lucky. I got an arc for Open Wide by Jessica Gross. Sometimes the best way to connect is from the inside out. So in this book you have Olive, and Olive is a Olive is so socially awkward, Blue Val, that she secretly records every conversation she has like a CIA agent trying to crack the code of human interaction. And then along comes Theo. Blue Val, Theo, is a surgeon who has a weird fascination of his own, and that is collecting objects that contain pieces of other people, strangers, like their used hair ties or their discarded tissues. Oh, there's Sylvie there. Hey, Sylvie. He also happens to have a gap-toothed smile that Olive is absolutely obsessed with. And if you thought dating was hard, try it with a side of literal body invasion. This unhinged girlie loves her man so much that she just wants to crawl inside him. And really, who needs boundaries when you're in love? This really does bring Getting Close to a whole nother level. The main themes in this would be boundaries of love and the body, and just the messy, weird way that we crave each other and closeness with the person we love most. This book was grossly compelling. It's one of those stories that triggers your morbid curiosity switch. I thought it was great, but this ain't going to be for everybody. It's one of those real weird books. For instance, the book opens up with our main character Olive wanking off with her dog in the room, and afterwards she likes to give it her juicy vibe to lick clean. all whilst musing that this isn't that bad. I mean, there's men that put peanut butter on their dicks, right? So, oh, hey, Papa. There is a lot of uncomfy stuff with Olive and her relationship with her dog. Then we get to her mother.
You want to talk about mothers? Oh, you want to talk about mothers? It's mother time.
And oh, you understand Olive a little bit better. So the mother definitely doesn't respect boundaries. She's very codependent with Olive. And when Olive was a teenage girl, her mother used to put Olive's knickers on, slime them, and then put them back in Olive's drawer. And when Olive confronted her about it, she said, oh, you know, I just wanted to like be close to you, and also, you know, I wanted to just try out your styles of underwear to see if it suited me. And Olive is like, why didn't you just put them in the wash afterwards instead of putting them back in my closet dirty? Oh my God. And yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm not even going to get into the other stuff. I'll leave that for you to discover yourselves. I thought it was good. It was great actually. And the ending, on the other hand, however, it was okay. I was just really hoping for a confrontation. I was really hoping we'd get it. The entire book I was waiting for it, and we didn't get it. So that's left like this itch unscratched in me. But the ending kind of makes sense for the book and how fucking insane Olive is. Now, I consumed this book via audio from NetGalley. I didn't really vibe with the narrator. The narrator sounded as if she was smiling and on the brink of uncontrollable laughter the entire book. So it made it feel as if the book was very like light-hearted and funny and everything was jokey, because this is how she sounded, you know. And then Olive was like wiping the slime and the blood off her body in the shower, and she was watching it go down the drain, and she was just so terrified and filled with shame and guilt. So I don't know if that was intentional, if they told the audiobook narrator, do it in this very lighthearted way, literally smile with every word you're saying and just say it like that, like everything's funny. I don't know if that was intentional, if that's just a narrator's personal style, but I don't know. I would not have felt that way if I were reading it. So it gave me a different experience of the book. I think perhaps it would have been better if I had read this book rather than listened to it, but I got the audiobook approval, so I took it and ran with it. I also think the cover is really good, and pink spaghetti now means something very different for me. But this, if you've got a gag reflex, I would say probably stay away. There's a lot of body horror in it, but yeah, I vibed with it, and it was a good last book to add to this reading vlog. So I'm going to sum up all of the books I read in this vlog from least enjoyed to most enjoyed. So we have Big Pussy Energy by Vanessa Murajan, Pussy Pride Parade, The Library at Hellebore by Cassandra Core, Punitive School, Hungry Teachers, Mandatory Sacrifices, When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy, Runaway Kid, Nightmare Powers, Murder Road Trip, Open Wide by Jessica Gross, Gap-Toothed Smiles, Throbbing Vaginas, and Highly Unsanitary Vibrator Cleaning Methods. And my favourite book for this reading vlog was This Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinniman. Respawns have been cancelled. So those were all of the books for this reading vlog. Do let me know down below what your recent read was, and until next time, stay wild, Star Child.